What's going on, Aces? Welcome to the late night shift. Y'all took a nap earlier, and now I'm up listening to Luther Vandross. So I'm like, let me bring the people some content. So Jussie Smollett, he has had his case dismissed. Let's get into this story. The Illinois Supreme Court on Thursday overturned actor Jussie Smollett's conviction on charges of staging a racist and homophobic attack against himself in 2019 and lying to the Chicago police, saying that he should not have been charged a second time after reaching a deal with prosecutors. The ruling, which did not address Smollett's continued claims of innocence, with the latest twist in a year-long saga, and Smollett, who is black and gay, made headlines around the world after he told the police in January 2019 that two men assaulted him in his downtown Chicago neighborhood, spouting slurs and tossing a noose around his neck, yelling that he was in MAGA country, which, again, he was in Chicago, so that didn't make sense, but okay. An apparent reference to Donald Trump's Make America Great Again, his presidential campaign slogan. The report prompted a massive search for suspects by Chicago police before investigators announced that they believed the attack was a hoax. The state's highest court found that a special prosecutor should not have been allowed to intervene after Smollett reached a deal with the Cook County's state attorney, in which charges against him were dropped in exchange for him forfeiting his $10,000 bond and performing community service. The deal prompted outrage in part because it did not include any condition that Smollett apologize or admit that he staged the attack. We are aware that this case has generated significant public interest and that many people were dissatisfied with the resolution of the original case and believed it to be unjust. Justice Elizabeth Rockford wrote in a court's 5-0 opinion. Nevertheless, what would be more unjust is that the resolution of any one criminal case would be a holding from this court that the state was not bound to honor agreements upon which people have detrimentally relied. End quote. Smollett was on the television drama Empire, which was filmed in Chicago, and prosecutors alleged that he staged the attack because he was unhappy with the studio's response to hate mail that he received. Are people still sending? Okay. Testimony at trial indicated that he paid two men $3,500 whom he knew from Empire to carry it out. Smollett testified that there was no hoax and that he was a victim of a hate crime. Smollett declined to comment Thursday through a publicist. His attorney said that Smollett was happy and relieved, but also disappointed that he was dragged through an unfair process. Even though this is over now, and he absolutely wants to move forward with his life. People should start asking questions. How did this happen? Why should this even, happen? What can we do to make sure that it doesn't happen again? This is from his lawyer, which he said at a news conference in Chicago. The special prosecutor, a former U.S. attorney, Dan Webb, said that he disagreed with the court's ruling while noting that it has nothing to do with Mr. Smollett's innocence. The Illinois Supreme Court did not find any error with the overwhelming evidence presented at a trial that Mr. Smollett orchestrated a fake hate crime and reported it to the Chicago Police Department as a real hate crime, or the jury's unanimous verdict that Mr. Smollett was guilty of 5 counts of felony disorderly conduct, Webb said. After Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx's office dropped the initial 16 counts of disorderly conduct, the backlash was swift, with then Rahm Emanuel calling it a whitewash of justice. Webb was appointed special prosecutor, and a grand jury restored charges, leading to Smollett's 2021 conviction on 5 counts of disorderly conduct. Smollett was sentenced to 150 days in jail, 6 of which he served before he was freed, pending appeal. And he was ordered to pay $130,000 in restitution. Chicago police officers and officials are pursuing reimbursement for the amount of time that police spent in overtime through a civil case. Fox told the Associated Press that she was not surprised that the High Court found her handling of the case proper, if unpopular, but proper. She criticized Webb's ensuing legal mechanisms, which she said ignored the tenet of the discretion and landed the issue in the same position that we were in March 2019. So he's having people in this court even going back and forth over this case. It's been so, sensationalized by the media that, in my opinion, it's become, bigger than what the actual facts of the case are. Because here's the thing, just a side note, people lie all the time. Carolyn Bryant unfortunately cost Emmett Till his life by lying and saying, that he whistled at her. And even if he did whistle at her, I mean, I wasn't born during this time, but that's not the reason or just cause to, end a young boy's life. You know what I mean? I could think of, just off the top of my head, at least 10 cases where, people, now they're dubbed Karens, would call the police on, other people for essentially minding their business. There was one specifically, I forget, I don't even know if we knew her name, but it was the woman in the black glasses and the hoodie that, called the police or called 911 on black folks at a cookout in California, and they actually parodied her on Saturday Night Live. Um, people will lie, make up hoaxes and hate crimes all the time. With Jussie, this was such a high profile case because, in my opinion, not only was he, a well known actor from Empire, but it doesn't happen too often that people make up the fact that there, is racism or homophobia directed toward them. But also, in double jeopardy, he should not have been continued to be prosecuted for the same crime over and over and over and over. I feel like that's where they dropped the ball. Like, they continue to essentially beat a dead horse. And you can't do that. Double jeopardy is still against the law. Okay, so what they were doing in going to court was re-prosecuting someone because you don't like the outcome, and that would have set a horrendous precedent in which anyone could come in and undermine the work of the prosecutor's office, said Fox, who did not seek a third term this year. So even the people that were prosecuting this case and defending Jussie kept going back and forth because, again, even if he did lie, right? Let's just say that he did. You can't continue to prosecute someone because you don't like that person, right? The law is the law, and double jeopardy is double jeopardy. So Eileen O'Neill Burke, the incoming Cook County State Attorney, declined to comment. I see, again, this case, I feel like it took on a life of its own because people made such a huge deal out of this young black gay man lying. It's so rare, in my opinion, right? We hear about Karens lying quite often, unfortunately. Are they dragged, across social media? Sometimes, yes. But are they taken into court and prosecuted and given felony charges? I'm not aware of anyone having received such a charge. Carolyn Bryant, again, she cost Emmett Till his life, and she was able to live out her days until she passed away from natural causes of old age. Smollett, a child actor who appeared in the 1992 movie The Mighty Ducks, has credited his role as a singer on the hip hop drama Empire for turbocharging his career. I mean, that's what most people knew him for. But unfortunately, just this one lie cost him his career. This year, he starred in the movie The Lost Holiday with Vivica Fox. Oh, good. Okay, well, hey, there you go. I guess it didn't cost him his career. Because here's the thing, I believe in redemption. I believe in redemption for, people who, in my opinion, will make a mistake like this. Like he didn't, unalive anybody. He didn't, you know, um, force someone to do something against their will, right? What he did was he made a really bad judgment call. He hired these two Nigerian brothers, but him lying to the police, okay, that happens, like I said, more frequently than we would, really like to think. And those people who lie and call the police and say, oh, this person looks suspicious, or, this person is, their existence bothers me because I've been socially conditioned to think that, they are a threat for whatever reason. They're not hauled into court. They're not given felony disorderly conduct charges. So, yeah, did he lie? Yeah. And did his career take a nosedive? Yeah. And I'm not excusing it, but what I am saying is treat people the same across the board, you know? The Illinois Supreme Court Chief Justice Mary Jane Thesis and Justice Joy Cunningham took no part in Thursday's decision. So, listen, double jeopardy is the law, and it's there, to protect U.S. citizens from constantly being persecuted and prosecuted for the exact same crime. Just like the Fifth Amendment, right? You can say, I plead the Fifth Amendment because it protects you from self incrimination. There are things in place in the Constitution that protect U.S. citizens from consistently and constantly being harassed and prosecuted by the law. And people, some people who are out for, I was going to say, well, out for blood. Yeah, they don't like that, but the law is the law. So that's why his case was, dismissed, and it's been overturned. Hopefully he can learn from this and, move forward with his life. He's already filming with Vivica Fox. That's great. Again, I believe in redemption. I believe in second chances. We're all human. We all make mistakes. And case dismissed. You guys, I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I will link the article from the Associated Press if you guys want to read it for yourself. And I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.